3-compartment sink, the only thing that I've noticed is there's no traps. P-traps are required underneath each individual connection to prevent the sewer gases from coming back up out of the sewer into the home.
Sure.
What they did is they straight lined it all the way across and tied it directly into the existing drop. Okay. So, again, per code, there must be a P-trap underneath each individual connection to the 3-compartment sink.
Let me ask you this, Kevin. Do you think that they actually had a pull permit on this? Do you think they actually had an inspection done by the city?
Well, I guarantee there was no inspection done.
Okay, well, there you go.
Because there's no way that this would have all passed.
So it wasn't done professionally, they didn't pull permits more than likely, and they also did not have the city come out and inspect. So
correct.
We're going to go back to that, back to the base, find out from the city what needs to be done, and then we'll continue from there.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. In regards to the gas line, a gas line that is running to a stove, which this particular gas line is, must be 3/4 of an inch all the way to the stove. It is 3/4 of an inch there, but they reduce it down to half.
Okay.
And then ran it down. Shut-off valve per code must be above floor level, and it must be behind the appliance. That way, if there's an emergency, it can be gotten to from that point.
Right.
The other thing that I've noticed is they have what they call an S-trap underneath this sink, which is no longer allowed per code. Years ago, S-traps, they used them because of the fact there was either no venting or they didn't want to run venting. It was maybe an island sink or whatever, so they were allowed.
Right.
Now they are not allowed. S-traps, this must be trapped, go back, drop down into the floor, and it can be vented either with what they call a sure vent, which is how they would do is they'd run a T in here, they'd run a vent up above the spill rim, which is in the back, up underneath there, and they can install what they call a sure vent.
Okay.
The sure vent then will allow venting, but it eliminates the S-trap.
What do we got here?
Right here we got a blower door. It's here to simulate 20-mile-an-hour wind blowing on the home. What we're going to do is we're going to set this blower door up to run, and it's going to pull a vacuum in the home.
Okay.
The fan measures the CFM flowing through it.
Okay.
Depending on the CFM level in the home, you can tell us how tight or how loose our house is.
Okay.
This is a pretty big house and a pretty old house.
Yeah,
so,
I think we're running about 5,000 square feet.
Right, 5,000 square feet on a brand new 5,000 square feet. Energy Star rating, we're looking at 3,500 CFM as a good reading.
Okay.
This house right here, I already know. I've looked in some of the balloon framing.
Right.
Didn't see any insulation in the walls.
No, there's not.
So I know we're going to get a lot of air infiltration through them walls. So if we can't get a reading, that tells us that our house is wide open, but it's going to give us something to shoot for later.
Okay.
After we air seal this house, we'll come back, do another reading, see how much it dropped.
Okay. Very
So
good.
if we can get it down to 3,35, 4,000, we might have just dropped our air leakage in half on this house, which is going to help our heating bill out tremendously.
Which they have been complaining about that, it's like over $2,000 roughly a month, and it's just, it's out of control. So
right.
Again, this is going to tell us a lot of information. So you're kind of thinking that this may actually be off the charts.
Yeah, and but we'll still be able to feel a lot of air flowing.
Okay.
And you can feel it with the back of your hand. If you go up to a window or a door, you'll be able to feel it coming through.
Okay.
So we're gonna create a pretty good vacuum here in a little bit.
I'm gonna get out of your way. Let you go ahead and get this thing turned on and see what we can find out. So Matt, what did we find out?
Well, we found out that the house is pretty much wide open.
Okay.
The way this blower door runs is we're trying to run at a certain measurement, which is pascals, and it's at 50 pascals. We want to run so many CFM through that fan.
Okay.
On this, I could only get up to 20 pascals, so my fan was just running wide open.
Wow.
So that tells us right now that we've got to do some stuff to air seal the house and tighten the house up.
Okay, so in layman's terms, that's 50 pascals versus 20. Can you explain that?
Well, when we're reading pascals, we're kind of like doing at 55 mile an hour, a car gets so many miles per gallon.
Okay.
Well, at 50 pascals, we want to look at our CFM flowing through the fan.
Right.
And when we're only getting 20 pascals, so
we're getting like 5 miles per gallon here.
Yeah, and if you was to take that and put that into a heating, that's why we're spending $2,000 to heat a house in the winter.
There you go. There you go. And we were talking earlier about the Obama
The stimulus package?
stimulus package.
Yeah,
for the-
Indiana got $100-some million to do weatherization. That's exactly what this is.
Okay.
Where the first thing they do, an auditor comes in, does a blower door test, and some other things with the furnace and hot water heater, stuff like that. Contractors come in, do their job, then that auditor comes back and does another test to see how good the heating the contractors did, and they're trying to achieve a certain level of savings.
So it's measurable. What they're doing is definitely measurable. They come in and they find out where they're at, and then they make those repairs, make the suggestions, heating, air conditioning, insulation, whatever.
Sure.
And then they come back in and they find out this is what we actually did.
Right,
So,
exactly. Like this one. We're off the charts.
Okay.
So we do everything to this house. I come back. If I can get 4,000 CFM at 50 pascals, then...
Okay. We're up to 30 miles in a gallon.
Sure. No, we're doing good for this house.
Fantastic. Fantastic. All right, man. Thanks a lot. Okay. We've been through the house, top to bottom. We've been here a while. We've had the blower door, the plumber, the electrician. What do you think?
I'm pleased with the work that you guys did here, and I'm looking forward to see the end result.
Okay. Well, it looks like we definitely got our work cut out for us.
Okay.
There's no doubt about that. And this is not the end. This is just the beginning. So we'll be contacting the local inspectors and having them come out and go through the plumbing and the electrical and make sure that it's all where it needs to be. And what's not done or what's not done right, we'll start taking care of it.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.